Now let's have a look on work with APM system itself. So let's go to application performance monitoring, and first of all we get into the analysis. You can see right away the APM index, so that's for you the indication whether there is something off or not. As you can see, for the database we are really good. The transactions are generally happening in the time we have scheduled, and you can see the worst time is 2 seconds, which isn't too bad. Generally, the APM index is quite bad for some transaction which isn't happening that much, because the rest is having quite good response times. But so we don't need to worry about that one. You can see some statistics. So application response time, like in percentiles, how many users are being using this database, how well we are fulfilling the SLA. So you can see we are pretty much lower than SLA, which is good. And then you can have transaction and instances, and if there are any errors, or how much data has been transferred. But let's have a look on the eShop first, where we see it has actually quite worse the APM index. You can see in the last 1 hour there was 101 transaction, where average is around 9 seconds, which is quite a lot. And you can see that the transactions, they are not that common. We have some, and their index is not that great, because you can see that it's averaging into quite bad numbers. So you can see that even getting the home page is already like taking 26 seconds. So that's why we have this bad response times, right? You can actually sort it out by this APM index, which is good indication, and you can see that many of these pages are taking way too long. Also, you can set some filters, so you can say we are caring only about an index which is below, let's say, 75, so it will find us only those transactions. And now let's say we want to have a look on these 6, so you can click on it. Sorry. And you can see these transactions right away. And then we have these instances, so you can see when it was called, which URL path, what was the average response time. You can see always is about the same. And you can see we are not getting error code here, not that much data being transferred. But if you see actually that application response time is really bad, because on the network it's good, application itself responding really slowly. And because we have the database connected here, we can see that there are quite some queries run during this time frame when these were run. However, none of them is taking too long, so we can assume that this is really some application problem, because that's the one which is taking the longest. As on the network, it isn't really. It's pretty much on the application itself. And this way you can see all these transaction application. Also, as I mentioned, you can get same like for the database. Sorry, let's close this one. There are no error codes. Also, there is one more thing. If you want to get this statistics visually into the new UI, you can configure an application details on the dashboard. So let's have us to put that on new dashboard, which let's check whether we have some predefined for application. We do. So we use it for web eShop application. Let's call it eShop. Refresh rate 5 minutes is fine. So this way we create a dashboard with that application, and we see right away the similar things what we have seen in the APM, but we will have it on each. So we see that the response time is quite bad. We see the slowest transactions, which are taking a lot, like 1 minute for response on this is quite a lot. And then you can see the APM index is about the same, like quite lower, and you know that there is just one user. So this way you can get it on dashboard. So